Hello everyone, welcome back to one more video session. In this session, I'll be starting with a new lesson, that is Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In second year PUC Biology, the unit 7 is Genetics, which has 3 chapters. That is, the first one is this, the second one is Molecular Basis of Inheritance, and the last one is Evolution. If you just look into any of the NEET question paper, the old question paper, you will find around 8 to 9 questions from this particular unit. That means each chapter in this unit is very important. You have to focus and you have to write important points and you need to practice. So before I come to the introduction of this chapter, I just want to tell you one thing, that right now the lockdown period is extending, and one or the other day it's going to end, and obviously the college will reopen. I believe that you people are watching the videos and writing the notes. On the first day itself, what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to check the notes. I want each and every concept, whatever I have done so far in the video session, should be written neatly in your notebook. If I don't find it, obviously, I'm going to take a strict action against you or against the student who failed to submit the notes or who failed to write the notes. So the student will be suspended for 30 long days actually. That means the student has to stand outside the class. So this is actually a warning, or like you can take it as a suggestion or whatever it is. Because I don't know whether you are listening to me or watching the videos or no. I have no idea about it, because obviously I'm talking to a camera right now. Chalo. So fine, we'll start with the chapter, the Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So what is inheritance and what is variation? Inheritance is also called as heredity. We'll see what exactly. Variation means the difference. You know that in this earth, there are about 8.5 million species are there. Each species actually varies from other species. What is the reason behind it? The reason is very simple. The genes or the DNA composition in each the species, which actually makes an individual organism or makes a species. That's what actually you could see. There is a high degree of variation in each species. Just compare yourself with another animal. Obviously, you could see a big difference, right? That is actually because of the DNA. The DNA which is present in your body is entirely different compared to the other organism or other species. So DNA is very important for your structure as well as for the function, which also determines what is your character. So we'll see it first. So the branch of biology which deals with the inheritance, that is heredity, and variation is called as genetics. So what I'm going to do is I'll just write genetics. So genetics is the branch of science or biology which deals with heredity and variation. So one more thing is, who actually coined the term genetics? Genetics, the term was coined by a scientist called as the Bateson. And who is exactly the father of genetics? So we all know that the Gregor Mendel actually. I'll just write here. We'll not speak about Gregor Mendel right now, because anyhow in the next session I'll be talking about Gregor Mendel's experiments. He was the first person in 1800 actually to start with the experiments of genetics. He was the first person to tell that there is something within our body which actually which makes which is responsible for the characters. So we'll talk about it later. Just remember the Bateson who coined the term genetics. Very important for your NET, may be asked, and even this particular question was asked in previous examination also, in some competitive examination. Chalo. So now I have a question that you have seen the cats, right? See, the cats always gives rise to kittens. So why they gives rise to kittens instead of other animal? It could be dog, correct? It could be tiger, it could be lion cub. But why cats gives rise to kittens? That is one question. And then you might have seen the papaya seeds. The papaya seeds. If you just put the papaya seeds in the soil, obviously they are going to form the papaya plant itself, not the mango tree or mango plant. Correct? Why? What is the reason behind it? Always, human beings will produce human beings itself, correct? It will not they will not produce monkeys. What is the reason behind it? There is some reason actually behind it. So first of all, before I come to the actual concept of heredity and the variation, I just want to give you one example. So let us assume this is a person. So we just write husband. He is a husband. And here we draw one more diagram. then this person is the wife. So husband and wife, okay, they have one character. That is actually the external character, okay, which is like, which can be easily seen actually from outside. That character is, I'm just taking one character. See this. On his head he has got a lot of hairs actually. The type of the hair that this particular person, the husband, got is straight. So he has got a straight hair. Straight hair. Okay. Here the wife, she also has hairs, and the hairs are bit different compared to the husband. In this case, she has curly hairs. Okay. So she has curly hairs. Okay. Now actually, they undergo sexual reproduction, and obviously they are going to produce the offspring. So let us assume that they will produce around 4 children. Okay, we'll just write like this: 4 children. Okay, fine. Okay, we will not talk about the sexes of the children. It is not required right now. Okay, so due to sexual reproduction, obviously you know that he will produce the sperm and she will produce the ovum, and as a result of fertilization, okay, diploid zygote is formed and embryo formation takes place, and the babies, the young ones, are produced actually. Okay, these are all the siblings, the offsprings actually. I'll write here the offsprings. Correct? You know about it. This is offspring. These are all offsprings actually. Okay. If you look into the, now actually what kind of character we have to consider now? The hair type. What kind of hair type? Okay. So let us just assume that this fellow has curly hair. The first offspring has curly hair. Okay. I'll just write C here. Okay. That means actually this character is directly inherited from the mother. That means actually the mother contributed the character in the first offspring. Correct. This is the first offspring actually. Okay. So can we call this as heredity? Yes, this is actually heredity. So what is the definition of heredity now? The heredity is nothing but it is the process of transfer of characters from the parent to the offspring. Correct. Or maybe it is the process of transfer of characters from one generation to the other generation. So that is actually heredity. So this is heredity. Correct. Okay. Okay, so now we'll go with the second offspring actually. So this is the second offspring, and if you look here, and this fellow is expressing a different type of hair actually. So he is expressing a different type of hair, and in the offsprings he is exhibiting a totally different type of hair. Actually this type of hair is called as the wavy hair. He has got a wavy hair. See here, the father and the mother, they both have different hair type, but here you could see it's totally different actually. It's a new hair type. How did it, like, how it is possible? So what is the reason behind it? Okay, so this is now variation actually. See, this character is completely absent in husband, that is the father, and the mother, but the son or maybe the offspring actually express this character actually. So that means it is variation. So what is the variation here? It is actually, what we can write here, the trait. So what is the trait here? Trait is hair type. Okay, in this case actually the hair type, even we can also write this as character. Okay, so the trait or character, both are same actually. Okay, even we can use trait or character, both are correct. The trait or characters, okay, of an individual. So I am talking about one individual here. I am talking about this individual. The trait or character of an individual which differs from other offspring. See here, okay, differs from the other offspring, and also which differs from their parents. Okay, so individual differs from their parents and even the siblings also. Correct. Okay, this is actually the new character. Okay, which is completely absent in the father and mother, as well as even the absent in the siblings also. We'll go with the third one. So let us just understand it. Okay, third offspring. In this case actually you could see the third offspring has straight hair. That means actually this fellow has inherited the character from the father actually. That means it is hereditary, direct, because the father has straight hair. The third fellow also has the straight hair. We'll go with the fourth one actually. The fourth one actually, let us assume that, kind of like curly hair. That means actually the fourth offspring has inherited the character from the mother, directly from the mother actually. Got it? But here 3 are showing inheritance, whereas the one offspring is exhibiting variation actually. This is actually the degree of difference. Okay, the degree where an individual differs from other in that particular character. So that is actually variation. And then Inheritance or heredity means the characters which are directly transferred to the offspring or from one generation to the other generation. Hope you understood this. Okay, so this is one thing. So now I just want to write out here who is responsible for inheritance and variation. Who is responsible? Very simple, actually the genes are responsible, correct? So the genes are responsible. Now we have to know where exactly the genes are present. Okay, obviously we know that these genes are present within the DNA. Okay, the DNA is present within the chromatin. Chromatin is a long thread actually of DNA, okay, which is also containing DNA plus certain kinds of proteins. Forget about it, no issues. Okay, then the chromatin, sorry, this is chromatin. Okay, the chromatin actually makes chromatids. Okay, so finally two chromatids join together to form, I'll write here. This is one chromatid and this is another chromatid, and they are held together by the centromere to form a complete chromosome. Okay, that means the chromosomes which contains the genes are responsible for inheritance as well as variation. Hope you understood this.